Time to put it to rest. Hi, hello Chef Bravo, how are we doing? So basically today I'm going to cook my favourite Italian dish, chicken curry.
Are you trying to insult me? I'ma kill you! I'm gonna kill you! Today we're going to be diving deep into both a game and a character I have no idea about. A ton of research is going into this anime game. I genuinely have no clue about it. The research is going to be hard to find, but let's get it. What's up fellas, Patriarch Panda here, and I hope you guys are looking forward to today's Grappler. It's going to be an absolute treat as the main dish of today, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for a ton of the love in the previous vids. Again, I have to say every time, the Asako, the Halloween stuff, but now we're going to break away from Halloween to get a bit more saucy. As you guys know, be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers. That way we cover a very fun version of Zangief, first ever grappler. Also, be sure to tell me what grapplers you want me to cover. This one was recommended, and I wanted to check him out, see what he was all about. And I gotta say, he's really sick. Stay tuned as we talk about multiple things like what made him cool, what made him weak, and all that good stuff. But let's talk about what a grappler wants before getting into everything else. Yes, shoot! The Grappler tends to have a very weak neutral game, a very difficult time getting in, but once they're in, they're able to threaten one of the strongest mixes of any fighting game, being the strike throw. The potential to hit the opponent for big damage or throw them for big damage to get pressure is what the Grappler lives for. Once they're in, they are in. But it's time for the anime game of today. Chaotic Feasts Never End. Chaos Code. Chaos Code is a fighting game that was released in 2011 as an indie fighter made by FK Studios, and it was produced from ArcSys, the anime fighting game daddy of the industry. We'll be going over the second version of the game, NSC, as this is one that is used for tournaments. The game has a very fun cast of colourful characters like anime fighters. The characters stand out with bright colours and cover all sorts of archetypes, either being the usual or an exaggerated version of one. Talk about the game and its mechanics. Like most anime fighters, there's a ton of mechanics. It's a 4-button fighter with a ton of movement, from dashing to jumping to air dashing and rolling. You can actually choose if you'd rather have a run dash or a step dash at the start of the game. It affects different playstyles and how you like to play the game, and I think this is a cool way to have some pre-game stuff. Kind of like the extra move system. That's right, when you start the game, you get the choice of 4 moves where you have to pick one special and one super. It is such a cool pre-game strat that you're able to choose a special or super depending on the matchup. I think that's a cool thing. Like any other normal fighting game where it's a first to 2 round system, so no carrying over health like the last games we'll be covering. But the game has a meter system that maxes out at 3. And the meter in this game is sick, but there are other things I need to talk about. Use half a bar for a tactical guard, giving your character a parry, and this is good for every character giving them a defensive line. You can also cancel your special into super for 2 bars of meter, and this will make your super unscaled. So if you want to end a combo with a special, go immediately to super with 2 bars, it's going to deal the max amount of damage. You can also add an additional bar to cancel your super and get a combo pickup. Pretty rad system so far. You also got a guard crush if you use a bar. It gives you a full combo, but it's slow and very scaled. For the main sick mechanic of the game, this is the thing I would say the game is known for, and if it isn't known for it, my goodness, it should be known for it, and that's Exceed. This mode uses all of your meter, give you a time limit, and you explode with a big hitbox around you to be either used defensively or aggressively. During this time limit, your health starts recovering, and every normal becomes cancelable, so that means normals that aren't like command normal now are. The main sick thing is that you gain infinite meter during this. This is a sick thing, allowing for saucy combos and pure offense, super cancels, special cancels, either or, and you're gonna be able to cash out with your own build up air combo. Those are the main mechanics of the game, and there's plenty to talk about when it comes to like tech and tools that you can use that really stand out. That's for like the Omega Sweat Lords that want to have fun with that. Like that's their thing. I'm just here for a bit of casual fun and exploring a grappler that stands out. Speaking of, it's time for the sauciest grappler ever made. The chef that can beat the rest. Chef Bravo! Bravo is the main grappler of the game. Rocking a chef-like design, he uses his culinary skills to fight you, either if he's spinning his dishes or slapping you with his sausage. He has a ton of fun visuals of food and running a restaurant, totally trained in food foo, if you will. There's a reason why I'm mentioning Chinese martial arts, and that is because of Bravo's story. He's an Italian chef that wants to become a Chinese chef. He wants to go after the Chaos Code to save his restaurant from going under, and he also wants to stick it to his old teacher that Chinese food is the best ever. Random story, and yeah, that's all there is to it for this one. No spirit fighting for vengeance, no try fight for an orphanage. It's a man who's stopping his crappy restaurant from going under. Just wants that 5-star review from Gordon Ramsay on his Peking duck.
I'd rather eat poodle shit than put that in my mouth.
Let's get into his weaknesses and describe how saucy he was, because his weaknesses are basically non-existent. Chef had very few weaknesses. Just want to note is that he was big and slow. How dare you say I'm a big and slow? I'm actually quite maneuverable, you big baby bitch. Don't have to say that. My apologies. He's actually not big and slow. I've gotten so used to this weakness that I had to list it, but no, he's actually not that slow. A bigger fella, but not big enough to face issues like Potemkin or something like that. He isn't slow either. He actually has decent neutral and a dash game, so for once, not a weakness that we have to cover here. I don't have to say he's big and slow. However, he still had to face one weakness that every grappler has to deal with. And these are the type of players that try to convince you they're normal when deep down they're sick, twisted individuals. Zoners! Bravo had a tough time facing zoners due to how strong they were in this game. Rushdowns also gave him a bit of an issue, but it wasn't something he couldn't handle, as he had tools that were very stand out against them. The game was one where anyone could cook. Hey! However, some characters are still stronger than others. Bravo was in the top 5, as you'd see him a lot in tourneys. Let's see what made him so saucy. Time to talk about what made him so saucy. I want to note the first thing I mentioned earlier, the movement. With Dash, he was a solid character and could get multiple ways to get in just from running alone. He also could pick Dash, but this was only really good for tech throw setups rather than going for good neutral. So if you're up against someone you didn't need to worry about the neutral, you'd focus on tech throws, and if you needed something where you wanted the neutral, you picked running. He has this salami swing that allows him to approach like a lariat for offense, meaning it's duckable, but it's pretty safe on block, and on hit can lead to some nasty combos on the approach, so you have to be careful. The movement was pretty solid, but let's get into what made him even more saucy, his defense, my lord. Check out what this man had. He had access to a projectile known as the table, which was a great counter zoning tool that hit the opponent for an approach. He also had the best lariat you've ever seen. This is saying something, as I've seen haggers in a tag fighter. It's got iframes if you use meter, and it's relatively safe. It also hits behind. This is the ultimate get out of jail free card I have ever seen. As a choice, he could take the anti-air super grab to get a ton of damage, or the grounded armor super throw to deal a ton of damage. So this guy had some good defensive options where it's like, let's use armor for the kill, or let's go for the anti-air throw to stop your jumping. Okay. Now, those things are cool and all, but they're not exactly saucy. So what is the sauce? Where is the sauce? And that is this bit right here. His combo game. This is an anime fighter, meaning combos are very explosive and very awesome to watch. There's a ton of potential with the system mechanics, being able to choose supers and specials and like that. And this fella had so much to cash out with. The best combo video is this one by H. Galian that plays the Scatman during it. Very epic. You get very high damage and he hits for a ton. Look at the sauce of this. Look at the table flip. My goodness. He's able to combo them from one side of the screen to the other, and it looks so damn cool. This is why I'd consider him the sauciest grappler. His combo game is really fun to watch. Genuinely, I was enamored when I first watched this video, seeing that he could do table flips from across the full screen, corner catch-ups, resets, restands, and the fact that all of his animations look really cool as well. I can sit there and stare at it all day. I'm being genuine. I need to talk about his offense now. Having access to high damage on neutral hits and supers to get in, he had high lows as well, so he didn't have to commit to the grappler game plan. Any of his hits could lead to resets, and when he got the corner, this man was playing Build-A-Bear on pressure. If you try to take a turn, he would turn right back on you with an EX Lariat. Like, this guy was just solid overall. Just an absolute treat, an absolute beast when it came to running offense. I think this is what makes the grappler unique. So looking at the main weakness of a grappler and saying, let's just get rid of that. Let's see how it pans out, and that's getting rid of the slow big movement. He didn't have to play abysmal neutral like every other grappler. He can run, poke, and play with the best of them. If I was to balance him though, there's a couple of things I would hit just to make him a bit more fair to fight. First one would definitely be the table. I think it's super strong, but maybe make it a bit slower so it isn't just a ultimate anti-zoning tool. And make the Lariat punishable. An iframe tool in defense should never be safe. I know it's a tall ask because this game has a ton of culture and like community behind it, so they're used to these things, so you can't really be all like, oh, just nerf it, right? This is the nature with games that came out about that 1990 to 2010 period, is that there wasn't a lot of balance changes, so these were things that players just had to accept. The idea of getting rid of the main weakness of slow movement and giving them saucy combos, I think was the best way to go about this grappler. And it's fun to watch, and it makes it unique with a simple twist. But it's time for the question that everybody always asks: who were the fellas that made them work?
Oh wow, Max is... Follow up. You gotta go for that, son. Oh, goes after this? Get over hit. And son. That's great. That's... Okay, now he has the meter for EXA. There you go. Again, maxed out. Get all this. Oh, he might get stunned. That is actually good character. I would back off. There you go. And that's too late. Oh my god. Alright. Do a full jump combo. Just hope he doesn't win. Oh! Up again! Oh, they die! Still have a chance. There we go. There we go. There we go. That took a while. That's still like everything. Alright, up again. First.
But as you can see, man, there's just nothing but top-notch plays on display, and it's so fun to watch whenever you see this character on screen. The other characters, don't get me wrong, they have all got their own style and all that. But when it came to this guy, I was actually just stuck there watching the videos. I was stuck there watching the replays. I'm like, he's so fun. He's so fun. And that's because they made him unique by just making sure his base movement was just not bad so he could actually play neutral. How something so simple, just like that, makes him stand out. It makes him a contender. And I really like that. Chef Bravo is one that we'll be walking away with going, damn, very fun and unique design. And to think, like, this design is only really explored in maybe KOF games where it's like, okay, making it so it's neutral isn't abysmal. Fellas, that'll be the end of today's video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, check out the membership system and all that. It means a ton as it helps me out, it helps support me. But as you know, we're trying to get to 5k to talk about Zangief. So that's all I'm going to leave us on today. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. An absolute treat. Bellissimo! That'll be the end of today's video. Be sure to go to the Grappler Church, see how we've renovated and all that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!